Namibia, hello Africa. I'm Soraya Mentor, and you are watching Africa Beyond Borders. We get to chat to amazing Africans who've traveled beyond their homes. It is all about culture and how we carry it everywhere we go. Today's guest is Annemarie Du Toit, here to share her journey moving to South Africa and Namibia, well, back and forth in between, but I actually don't know where you were born. To think
Um,
about it now.
so I was born in Klerksdorp, which is
Yeah.
a very small town, like in rural South Africa. A lot like Gobabis, very small town,
Oh.
farm town. But okay, comparing it to Gobabis seems strange because it's a lot bigger than Gobabis, but in the
Yeah.
scale of South Africa, it's like tiny. But so that's
Mm.
where I was born.
So South African
Yeah,
is the proper term.
yeah, I think that
And
would
then
be
she
the
moved to
easiest.
Namibia. Yes,
Yeah,
how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm a bit nervous.
Oh my gosh, I should be nervous. Like, look at how lovely you
No,
look.
but you as well. And like I've watched the show and I love what you do with the show. So it's
Oh,
like kind of nerve-wracking being here and just like talking to you and everything, but I'm excited. It's like good nerves, good nerves.
good nerves, good. A good friend of mine said, if you're nervous, it just means you care. So
Exactly.
we're just channeling our nerves into a really cool convo now. So
Exactly.
I would love to know, growing up in Klerksdorp, sounds like a very
Very much.
Afrikaans town. Are you Afrikaans?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So I grew up bilingual because I had an
Mm.
English stepdad, Afrikaans mom. So that's why I'm kind of fluent in both. But I actually didn't grow up in Klerksdorp. So I lived there, I think, for like the first 6 months of my
Mm-hmm.
life. Moved to Cape Town for 2 years, but these are things that I can't really remember because I was very young.
Baby.
Yeah, and then spent most of my life in Joburg. I think from the time that I was 5 until the time that I was 16. I grew up in
Mm.
central Joburg on the East Rand, which people who know the East Rand kind of has all of these rumors. It's where Brakpan is, for example,
Okay,
Brakpan,
okay,
Boksburg. So
okay.
all of those towns that you kind of hear the jokes about. Yeah, spent my whole life there. Did a 1 year stint in Pretoria, and then moved to Namibia, moved to Gobabis before coming to Windhoek.
Mm.
So yeah,
Jessie, how old were you in Joburg? How long was that when you stayed there?
sure. I think it was about 11 years, and we moved there when I
No.
was 4 or 5 until I was 16. Um, yeah, like my whole life, essentially. I went there for pre-primary, for primary, for high
Yeah.
school, um, and then moved in the middle of high school and came here.
In the
But
middle of a high school.
yeah, so I went
Jeez.
in grade 11, which
Yeah.
was the year that I was supposed to be doing like record exams and
Oh
things.
my gosh.
And we don't really, because I was in a state school in South Africa, so we were on the CAPS curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then moving to Gobabis, being on Cambridge, it was like such a big shift, especially in my grade 11 year,
Yo.
because I spent my whole life like studying one way, and Cambridge is so different to anything I've ever seen before.
Yo.
And like, I know a lot of Namibian students tend to disagree with me on this, but I think it's also because we grew up with the different things. But I think Cambridge is so difficult as a syllabus. Like it took a lot out of me to be able to kind of wrap my head around everything. So yeah,
Firstly, high five.
thank you, thank
Grade
you.
11, to me, grade 11 was one of the most difficult years for you to not only,
Yeah,
number one, learn an entire new school system. Number two, leave your home country, come adapt here. Number three, forming new friends, teachers, and stuff like that. That is insane.
yeah.
Okay, not insane, but you do it. I'm sure you did it with such ease,
No,
you know?
I think insane is the correct word.
Okay.
It made me feel insane for a lot of my grade 11 year. But yeah, no, I definitely think insane is the right word. But I was kind of talking to someone before coming on the show, kind of like prepping what I was going to talk about because it's
Mm-hmm.
such a difficult thing for me to talk about. And growing up in Joburg was such an experience. And I kind of, one of the main reasons that I agreed to do this is because I kind of want to shine a light on some of the things because I
Mm-hmm.
think South Africa is so romanticized on social media. If you look at TikTokers going to the Kruger National Park or going to Cape Town, it looks like this world class place. And I just think there's so much beyond that
Mm-hmm.
that needs a little light to be shone on it because growing up in South Africa was not easy. Like, I'm lucky because I got both experiences. I got the whole growing up in the city, being a city girl, and then I also got growing up in a rural town in Namibia. And to me, it's that thing of we didn't really have any freedom growing up in South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a dangerous place. I mean, we all see the crime stats, we all hear about the corruption, we all know about all of these things, but I think living in that reality is so much different than seeing it on the news. Like, as a child, you can't just go ride your bike on the street. You are always either enclosed in the four walls in your house or the four walls of your school. It's never going out by yourself. You can't tell your mom as a 14-year-old, hey, I'm going to the mall, I'm going shopping with my friends, because you don't have that freedom. And that's something that, like, you don't realize while living there, but when you've been taken out of that situation, you realize how absolutely insane it is that as a child, you get taken to hijacking seminars and you get taken to these seminars on what to do if you are kidnapped and things like that. And I feel like that's not something that should be as normalized as it is.
Conversation as a kid,
And people like aren't talking about that. And the whole reason that we moved here was because my mom and I were involved in a hijack / armed robbery situation, which was like one of the most traumatizing events, obviously, of my life, as it would be for anyone. And I've never really spoken about it like on a public stage like this, but it changes your entire perspective of the world. And having your perspective, like, we all as children, we go into the world thinking it's such a happy place. You see your friends, you play your hockey, you play your netball, and then having your whole perspective change, like, it's such a dark place to be in. And I have to say, like, I don't think there's enough awareness or enough light shone on this to be like, growing up as a South African teenager, especially in Joburg, you don't have normal teenage experiences, and it shouldn't be as normalized as it is. But yeah, that was like one of the main things that I wanted to come and talk on, because I see my cousins, like most of my family still lives in South Africa, and my cousins are going through exactly what I was going through then. But luckily, because I went through it, they're a lot more, like, they know what to expect, they know what's going on. So they're kind of more, their eyes are more open to it. But yeah, a lot of people go through life thinking la-di-da, and then one day someone puts a gun against your head and you're like, it's not as nice as I thought it was. Yeah.
I'm sorry that you and your mom had that experience. It's not something you'd want to experience in your life, but I'm also very grateful that you came here and shared with us, your experiences, because like you said, it is sometimes overhyped. The luxury part, not rather overhyped, it is a beautiful country. It's just not spoken much about the crime stats, and I'm so glad you came to a country that's not as high in crime as South Africa, and that you got to be a kid while you could. Did you ever feel like a kid when you came?
Honestly, in Gobabis, I felt like I was 6 years old growing up from the start again. Like, I got to ride bikes in the street with my friends, which, like I said, is something that cannot happen in Joburg. I got to walk to my friend's house when I wanted to see them.
Leave your 4 walls, like you said.
Exactly, leave my 4 walls. I mean, I remember when I just moved, the January that I just moved. Now, like, something that's also, it's such a culture shock. Going from a place where we're like 300 students in a grade to being 200 in a school was such a culture shock. And I vividly remember, like, one of my first memories from Gobabis, because I moved without my mom at first, because she could only come in March, and I didn't want to miss 3 months of school and then move. So I came and I stayed with the nicest people, the Dirks family. Like, I love giving them little shout outs, because they really made my transition into Namibia so easy. And I vividly remember it was raining. Like, it was such a good rain year. And
when you arrived?
When I just arrived, and Gobabis' streets were flooded. Like, if you've been to Gobabis, it's basically dirt roads. Like, there's, I think, 1 tar road and 1 interlock road. So it's like dirt roads everywhere. And we were fishing for barbers with our hands in the street.
What do you mean fishing for barbers?
Like, okay, so there's this fountain in the middle of the town that overflows when it rains a lot. And it comes straight from the dam, where the barbers are obviously from. And they would just, like, them and their babies would, like, flood the streets and be swimming.
Oh, wait, barbers are fish?
Yes, barbers are fish.
I was like, what is a barber?
No, so that's the Afrikaans name. I, for the life of me, do not know what a barber is in English.
But now I know what a barber is, so that's very cool.
Yeah, so they're like these, I think catfish, I think would be the right term to use.
Okay.
Like, flooding the streets. And I remember, like, a group of us, and now we aren't kids, we're like 17 and 18 years old, but we were actively in the streets with like little buckets and spades, fishing for these fish, like
It's so
swimming down the
cute.
streets, swimming down the dirt roads. And it's such a core memory for me, being able to
Yeah.
experience things like that. So,
I love the fact that you were able to feel like you were 6 years old, coming from a busy, hectic city
yeah.
life to something where you can, I don't know, go fish in the street.
No, exactly. It's such a weird thing. Like, and in that time, I was still like very much in contact with my South African friends. So I would be like on video call with them, and they were just like, "What are you doing? Like, what is this? What is happening?"
I went to Gobabis last week. Was it last week? I can't remember when that was, but I like calling it Gobabis. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, go Babis, go Babis, go.
exactly.
I absolutely love the fact that you brought to light just the crime rate in South Africa and how you adapted to that. I think it's also very important awareness. To me, let me say that, just to keep myself aware of what's actually happening in
Yeah.
the world and be realistic as well. Before that, we're going to go on a quick break, guys. We're going to be right back with Annemarie to share more experiences and her culture shocks moving from South Africa to Namibia and what she found interesting. Okay, we're going to be right back, guys. See you guys. Welcome back, Africa. Welcome back, Namibia. I'm your host, Soraya Mentor, and you are watching Africa Beyond Borders. We're chatting to amazing Africans who've traveled beyond their homes and they're here to share their experiences around the world. Today, we have Annemarie Du Toit, who's here to share experiences from Klerksdorp. And we already got a bit into it on how she moved from there to Joburg and Cape Town and going to Gobabis, now Windhoek. A lot of hopping around for you.
Really, really, it was like, it felt like if you watch like TikTok a lot, you'll see those American military families that like kind of move from state to state.
Yes.
That is what it felt like.
So as someone who's traveled so many towns and countries, well, country, do you, how do you adapt your personality for the different cultures that you meet?
Yeah. It's a bit of a difficult question, but so in South Africa, I was kind of always the loud friend. Like I'm a very loud and outgoing person in general. And then this is something you've kind of got me here because it's something that's quite difficult for me to talk about. But then moving to Namibia, also because in South Africa we have a different way that we dress, we have a different way that we act, we have a different way that we address each other. And in moving to Gobabis, it did kind of at some points feel like I lost a lot of my personality.
Okay.
In trying to adapt to what the expectations and the social norms were there, because like it was a lot different. Like in South Africa, like I said, we were such a big grade, such a lot of people that you could kind of choose your friends. Where in Gobabis we were, I think, 12 matrics. So you were like kind of forced into this social circle. And I adapted my personality a lot. Like I became a lot like the girls there. I was doing what everyone else was doing, kind of falling into the trends. I became very quiet because that's kind of what they expected me to be, because they already had a loud friend and they already had an outgoing friend and a smart friend. Like as a high schooler, you often get put into those like categories.
Yes.
And so I just decided to become the quiet friend, and I kind of pulled back a lot because I didn't want to be taking up anyone else's space, especially coming into a group that's so tight knit and so close to each other because they've been together from 6 years old up until 17.
Sure.
So I did feel like I kind of lost a lot of my personality in Gobabis. But the one thing I can tell you is since moving to Windhoek and finding people that feel like my people again,
Hey.
especially since working, which is crazy actually, but especially since working at NMH, I've kind of like gotten a lot of my personality back. Like I feel free to be the loud person if I want to be the loud person and to be friends with who I want to be. So yeah, Windhoek kind of saved that experience for me and gave me a lot of my, I like calling it my sparkle. Windhoek gave me a lot of my sparkle back. So
Oh, you sparkle back. That
Yeah.
makes me so happy. You popped a question in my head while you were speaking. What made you move to Windhoek?
So, my mom was the principal of Gobabis Gymnasium. She grew up in Namibia, which is the reason why we were able to move here when everything went down the way that it did. And we were kind of just looking for bigger, better things, because my sister and I both, coming from Joburg and moving to Gobabis, it was very small for us. Like, the opportunities aren't as much. There's one school to choose from, or there's two schools, but like, because my mom was the principal, we were kind of forced into the one school. Working opportunities, university opportunities, even for my mom. She now is the CEO of Windhoek Afrikaans Private School, and that's kind of what drove us to move to Windhoek, and just finding bigger, better things for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
And my sister is in Windhoek Afrikaans Private, so she's kind of gotten back to having that big school experience. She also had her Gobabis gymnasium for I think 2 years, and now she's back to being in the big school. Also found a lot of her sparkle again. So
Aw.
yeah, that was kind of the driver behind that.
Yay, that makes me so happy for her. I don't even know her, so that makes me happy for
Oh,
her.
she's lovely. You can be happy for her. She's like the best person in my life, my safety net forever.
Ah, I'm really
Yeah.
glad. Shifting gears, I wanted to find out now, you did mention briefly when you came to Namibia for your first time, you experienced the rain, which for Namibians is like, wow, we're glad, because it's a very dry country sometimes.
Yeah, I've experienced that as well. Like, it can get so dry.
Yes,
But yeah.
I would love to know, do you remember your first 72 hours coming into Namibia?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do. Like,
I'm so shocked when people remember.
so we flew into Windhoek, obviously. No flying into Gobabis. It's not like South
Oh, yeah.
Africa where every town has its own little airport. So we flew to
Yeah.
Windhoek, and I remember being so nervous on the plane because school started on the 26th of January. I landed here on the 25th, and I had to go to Gobabis, buy my school clothes, meet the family I was staying with, and I only had my mom for those 72 hours. Like, that was the time that she was able
Crazy.
to be with me. So I remember we drove, and like I said, it was a good rain year, so everything was green. It was
Wow,
absolutely
like you said with the fish. What's the fish called in Afrikaans again?
a barber.
A barber.
A barber. Yeah.
You
So I remember like driving this Windhoek Gobabis road, and it was just green.
Wow.
And it felt like I was in a movie. I mean, my mom and I, we were listening to our favorite band. We have a joint favorite band, a South African band. They're called Spoegwolf.
Okay.
And we were listening to their music and kind of just together, but in silence. Like, we weren't talking. And then when we got to Gobabis, there was no checking into the guest house. There was no nothing. She took me straight to school to go buy my school uniform.
Okay.
And obviously, it was already announced that she was going to be the new principal and she was going to take over. But I kind of had this thing, because we also don't share a surname. I kind of had this thing where I wanted to be something other than the principal's daughter. So I asked her, please, can you stay in the car? Let me go buy my school clothes myself. Because like, if people see you, they're going to know I'm your daughter. And I just want to use these 3 months that I have to kind of be something other than that. Which, it's definitely not a bad thing being the principal's daughter, but like, that's not the only thing you want to be.
That's not how you want to be introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went in, bought my school clothes, and then met the prefects of that year, who were super nice, by the way. But then also, it was a bit of a culture shock for them, because like I said, we dress differently in South Africa. So I arrived here in my little short shorts and my bright pink crop top and my like platform Birkenstock shoes, and I really was giving spoiled city girl.
Oh
like,
my
what is this girl?
It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, I
It
was
was
like-
just where you came from.
Yeah, and it was like, what is this girl doing in this town? So they were all super nice, but they were also like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
And so met them all. I actually ended up becoming like really great friends with a lot of them, like to this day. And then we went to the guest house, checked in, and then we went to Braai with the family that I was moving in with. And they had a daughter who was 2 years younger than me, as old as my sister, and then a son who was 3 years younger than me. And I just remember them having so many questions. Like, I know this girl from South Africa. Do you know her? Like, that kind of thing. And the only thing I could think was, do you have any idea how big South Africa is? Like,
Show me.
no,
I
do
can
not.
get lost in Joburg alone.
Yeah, like, I'm from Joburg. I do not know your friend from Cape Town. Like, we did not, our paths did not ever once cross in this country with like 12 million people. It never happened. So I remember that vividly. And then my first day of school was obviously crazy. Like, I walked in and I had this little pink Nike backpack that had all of my books
So
in
you're
it.
really standing out.
Yes, because but pink is also my color. Like
Hey.
it was the one bit of my personality that I would not let go of was my love of pink. And everyone had like these branded school backpacks, and I came there with my like a pink Nike backpack, and I had the weirdest school shoes because I don't know if it was the same for you, but like going through school, different types of school shoes would like become a trend. So you'd have like those little
Oh.
doll shoes
Oh
with the
yes, I
holes in
remember
them.
this. I
Yeah.
remember this,
Or
yes.
you'd have like the platform, those thick
What do you
school
call
shoes.
grasshoppers? Oh
Yes.
my gosh, I always wanted a grasshopper.
So I went there, and the trend was not the same in
Okay.
Gobabis at the time as it was when I
Okay.
left Joburg. So like my school shoes were weird. My skirt was so long because I was so scared of like breaking a school rule that I had like a skirt that was down to my knees. So I felt so weird, and I like walked into reception and they said to me like, "This boy is gonna show you around. This is so and so." And I was like, "What do you mean you're just leaving me with this child that I've never met before in my life?" And he like kind of took me to our classroom and introduced me to everyone, which was obviously also because people they don't know me, so they were like checking me out, being like, "Are we gonna like her?
Who's her?
Are we gonna like yeah, exactly, add her to our friend group? Are we gonna?" And there was this one specific boy. I'm actually dating him now. Like we've been together since high school.
Great.
I know.
So
I know.
cute.
And he came up to me and he hugged me, and then he just whispered in my ear, "Everything is gonna be okay." Like he didn't know me.
Where do I find these people, Annemarie?
I don't know. It like kind of just crossed my path. But like he hugged me and he just said, "Everything is gonna be okay." And I remember feeling so reassured in that moment. And then we went about our day. We had all our classes. I met all of the teachers. Obviously, everyone was very interested, like, because the whole school knew. If there was a new student, the whole school from
Yeah,
grade
like you
one
said,
to
it was quite a
matric,
small school.
yeah,
Yeah.
knew. So, like, at break time, I kind of felt like I was in a museum and everyone was kind of just staring at me. No one was really talking to me. Like, everyone was just like,
So it was like the bride, but all over again.
yeah. And I was like, "Okay, can someone please say, like, anything to me, please?" And went about my school day. My final period was English. And so then the kids had kind of like gotten used to me being there. So people were talking to me. And my English teacher also grew up in South Africa. And like her and I were talking. And this one boy like randomly puts up his hand and he says, "We eat frogs here."
Okay.
And I was like, "What do you mean you eat frogs?" And he says, "Yeah, frogs and like little water tortoises." And I was like, "Why are you telling me this?" And he said, "Because when you come to the farm, you have to eat frogs and water tortoises." And I was like, "No."
I wouldn't know how to process that
Yeah.
information.
And I just and I went home and
Yeah.
I told my mom, "These people eat frogs." And she was like, "No, I'm sure they were joking with you." And then I don't know how my number got out. Like they must have gotten it from like a class group or something. And this boy proceeded to like share 10 pictures of people in my class like braaiing frogs. And it was just it was such a weird thing. Like, why are you
That
sharing
is
this with
so
me?
weird and specific.
Yeah, like, why did I specifically have to know that you braai frogs?
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, like that's something that obviously stuck with
Yeah.
me. So quite interesting. But yeah, those were my first 72 hours. Very
In an
strange.
entirely new country, going to a new school, meeting new friends, and seeing pictures of frogs.
Exactly. Basically, that sums up my Gobabis experience.
Annemarie, I love talking to you today. It was absolutely amazing having you share your story with us. I absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you. It was so much fun being here. I love talking to you too. And like like I said, it's like the first time that I actually get to
Yeah.
talk on this experience. So
Yeah.
it was so much fun being here with you.
And now we're not so nervous anymore. We were so nervous when we started out, but we made it through the episode.
Doing exercises and
Yeah.
such things, but now we're happy. We've talked. So
Yes.
yeah, it was lovely to be here and to be able, and you're such a nice person to share it with. Like you ask the exact right things to make me comfortable.
Okay, I'm gonna compose myself for TV right now. To all our viewers watching, thank you guys for watching today. You can join us every Monday at 8:30 p.m. on DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25, and oneup2.com. See you guys next week.